What's going on, guys? T2RX6 here, back for another quick fix video, and I got a request the other day to take a look at the TFC Uranos, because if you're familiar with him, if he's not standing on anything that is, you know, like a piece of paper, he has this real big tendency to just kind of topple down like this. It really doesn't take almost anything. He'll be sitting there and he'll just kind of crash down on himself like this, and someone said, hey, could you take a look at him and see if there's a fix you can come up with him? So I took a look, and sure enough, he's pretty easy to fix. Before we get on to this though, I want to give a big shout out to BBTS. If you watched last week's video on the Stunicons, when I did Last Chance, I had mentioned that I got that crack in the windshield. I contacted BBTS. I'm not affiliated with BBTS. If they want to, I would love that. I buy like 90% of my stuff that you see on here there. But I contacted them, and I even said, my downshift is cracked, or my downforce is cracked. I may have even done it. I don't remember this being like this in the previous video, but frankly didn't look very carefully. But I told them I think I did it. I would pay for the part plus the shipping, all that stuff. They said, hey, ship them back and we'll send you a new one. So, awesome, BBTS. I love your guys' customer service. So I will be sending this guy out and getting one that's fixed pretty soon. But let's get back to actually looking at floppy leg Uranos here. Let's put this one to the side, because we're going to look at the one that I've already started to take apart. Yes, he's absurdly simple to take apart. So what you end up having is 3 pieces here. Well, it sits like this in here, and then this on the top, and you basically take out the 3 screws, I'm sorry, this way, 1, 2, and 3, and then you pop that all off. This spring will be in here putting tension on with this here. Essentially, if you watch the Metroplex fix video, this is the same thing, but at a smaller scale. So what I found in my garage was some little tiny nylon washers again. I already put one in there. It's a little bit tight to get on there, so I'm not going to take this one out, but if you wanted to, all you have to do is wiggle the leg all the way out and it'll come out. For you guys who want to play along with this, I brought my handy dandy, I forget what it's called. Can't think of it right now. And your inner diameter here sits at roughly, looks like, I'd say about 5 millimeters there, going by the bottom scale. That's your inner diameter. Your outer diameter is going to be tough to get. Somewhere maybe close to 10, I would say, 9 or 10. I think if it was perfect, it'd be pretty much 10. Yeah, and the width on this guy is about a 0.5 millimeter here. I'm going to use 2 because I think that 1 is just a little bit small. If it ends up being too much force on this guy, then I'll just come back and remove it. But basically, we're going to just come in here and we're going to push this all the way down. All you need for this whole process is a screwdriver and these little washers, which again, you can get packs of these guys at Lowe's or Home Depot for like 90 cents. So push that, make sure that's all the way down, and essentially it should be big enough that our spring rests on top of it. Once we have that going in our favor, we can go take this and we'll put everything back together just like this and like this. Just make sure that your ratchet joint here, whoops, your ratchet actually stays in place. Down here you can see you got the 2 tabs that line up at the bottom that it's gonna have to fit in when it goes all the way down. Now this feels a little bit tight, but we're gonna see. We might only need 1 of those washers. In fact, I'm going to take it out and I'm going to only put 1 in, because I do think that after a little bit of fiddling around with it, 2 might be just a little bit too much. I thought 1 was going to be too little, but clearly it's able to do more than I anticipated. So I just put it in and put it all back together. And we should have some nice, more firm legs when we're done with this guy and actually get it back together. Try to get it back together on camera here real quick. Yeah, that's better. Bring it at least slightly more squishy. We don't want it too squishy, but we certainly don't want it too tight so we don't strip any of these gearings. There we go. Just like that. And just like this. And then we just screw everything back together. Now you do also have the added benefit that to hold this thigh piece together, you actually do have to have the 3 screws in the bottom piece here. So you do have extra stuff holding it together, so it shouldn't be an issue that you're going to strip out the screws. So I'm going to get this back together, and I'm actually going to do the other side real quick, and we'll see how he holds up. Alright, so before I go ahead and do the other leg here, I wanted to show you guys the difference between the unmodified leg and the modified. Much more sturdy ratchet there. So this should be quite capable of holding him up pretty well. He's still going to be able to flop just like Metroplex can, but we should be seeing a vast improvement. So I'm going to do this other leg and we'll put it all back together, and that'll be that. Alright guys, so we're back here. We got them in one piece, and you can see nice solid ratchets, but not too tight that we shouldn't be stripping out those gears inside there. There's no extra resistance. I think a millimeter thing would be too much, so try to find one that's like 0.5 millimeter thick. But yeah, nice and solid. So if we take this guy and we just kind of touch him a little, I mean barely touched him, we got that action going on thanks to the angle of his feet. And that is what we call Flopatron. And hopefully, if we did this right, we should have Superion here. So let's plug this on in. Let's give him a nice angle, like so. He's pretty solid. I mean, he still wants to work his way down, but that is way more effort than it took to do with the pre-modded version. So yeah, easy fix. Again, doesn't totally change the figure, make him rock solid, but if you're going to do that, you're going to kill all the articulation in the hips here and never be able to transform Blackbird again. But this one will at least keep him from just falling over when he's on your shelf from his own weight. So this is T2RX6. On Friday we'll be taking a look at Harrier, and then next week we'll take a look at Eagle, I think his name was, and then the combined mode. We'll do that next week. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the review. Once again, big shout out to BBTS, my personal favorite store for my third-party toys. And yeah, I'll see you guys Friday.